Good. They're all purple and blue today.
Yeah, no, actually, this is one of the shirts I received from one of the races I go, you know.
Oh, okay.
So every race you go, you receive a kit, you know.
Right.
So it's
Hey, that's
basically
nice.
just the shirt and the number of the race
Register. Yeah.
you
Oh,
have to put on your belly, you know, just to so in
to show you're not a fake person.
yeah, and also to receive your time, the time that you took to complete the race and stuff like that, and also receive the medal and banana after the race.
You get a banana? Okay, wonderful. Here's your banana. Okay. Excellent. You froze. Hello?
Hey there, the power
You're
just went off.
back. Oh, the power. Okay, yes. That rarely happens to me. Happened one day and I couldn't turn my computer back on. I got into my class like 1 minute late, but it was okay.
Oh, no, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, because
Mainly
in
here in
Cambly,
Brazil, you know.
yeah, we're living in Brazil. It's normal. Actually, you know, I told you this. It used to be quite normal, actually, Nicholas, for the power to switch off in my apartment block for 1 second. It
Yeah.
wasn't bad. It just go blink and then it would come back on. But it took me a minute for the internet to come back on my side. But it doesn't really do that anymore. I don't remember the last time that's happened. So they must have fixed something. But I told my wife I'm nearly afraid to live somewhere else because I said if we
Mhm.
live anywhere else and the internet goes off or the electricity goes, then I won't be able to give classes. And then I'll get a message from Cambly why I blocked out my lesson, and you know it would be just a big problem. I could get fired. So I realize that's common in
Yeah.
other cities.
Yeah. Also, there are a lot of people that live more on the countryside that put on that Starlinks
Starlink, yeah,
antenna
that could work nowadays.
that works really well, you know, for parts that are more far away from downtown, you know, because
Yeah.
the internet connection is very good.
Well, it's not just the internet connection; it's the electricity grid goes down
Yeah.
altogether. That's the problem. Like we lose the electricity. Well, our electricity comes back, but I think I mentioned it before. I went to my wife's friend's house in Valinhos. Okay, that's considered a wealthy city too in the region.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
went to her house, and it's like we were in her house for 5 minutes, and everything was like, pew! I was like, okay, and I thought it would just come back on, and it's like, no, we were sitting there in the dark for 2 hours. It's
Wow.
like, and I was like, that's crazy. I mean, you have to sit here in the dark. You just have to accept that there's no electricity. I was like, that's insane, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that is. Yeah, for example, here I live basically downtown, and when it happens, those kinds of things like the power just went off, sometimes it takes some time, like 1 hour, half an hour perhaps. But there are some days that the power just stay off for like one day, a full day, two
Oh,
days,
yeah,
and
that's
you
insane in
know
Sao Paulo.
this cannot happen because there are people that there are how can I say there are stores that have the freezers, you know, uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
with a lot of product, and it's crazy because this shouldn't happen here, you know.
Of course, especially in the biggest city in South America, it should not happen at
Yeah,
all. Yeah, that's very common actually. When you get floods and storms, I always see it. People without electricity for 5 days, a week, and they don't get it back in certain neighborhoods. And they'll say it's 100,000 people, their electricity hasn't come back. I
sure.
re- I remember that happening in its center, Sao Paulo, once, and in the very center of Sao Paulo, all the shops had to close, and and he's like, this is crazy, and he said, I don't know, but you lose millions of reais, millions, because no one's coming in for like 5 days, and some people had to bring generators into the city, and that's how they had their stores up with the generator.
Mhm.
But again, like the tills are down, you can't pay anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's really
also
bad.
happened a long time ago in Amapá. I think it was in the middle of the pandemics, that there was a power cut
Outage.
off. And,
Yeah.
I think it stayed like that for maybe 1 week or something like that. So
Mm.
it's a
The whole
long, long
place.
time.
What's the city? Marajó? Is that the city of Amapá? I don't remember. I remember reading something about Amapá a couple of months ago, and it was like Amapá is like the most dangerous state, I think, at the time. And there was they said there was a city called Santana, and that was it's right next to Marajó. It's right next to the city of Marajó. I think Marajó is the capital, and that was the worst place in Brazil to live. That's where all the murderers are. There's like that was because all the gangs were there getting drugs from the port money, so everyone was killing each other. I was like, okay, I don't want to live there. Actually, I had a student during the week, and he was from Victoria da Conquista, and I didn't know anything about the
Yeah,
city. And he's
yeah,
like, "Oh, this city's fine. Yeah, it's nice enough." And I was like, "Oh, I can't remember the guy's name, but I was like,
yeah. I heard about this city, but I do not know it.
yeah, it had 60 murders per 100,000 written up there. And I was like, you
Wow,
realize that's a war zone.
that's a lot.
That's what, yeah, it's like this is where he goes. And he goes, oh, no, no, that's out of date. That's not true anymore. It's actually a fine place to live. He's like, there's only 20 murders per
So
100,000
because I
now.
am one of the murderers, so I'm protected.
Yeah, maybe he's one of them. Yeah, no one's going to kill him.
Wow,
But he said it was the gang members killing each other more than killing
wow,
innocent people.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it
That's
is
crazy.
crazy. It's like I know recently there was a problem in Sao Paulo with the city of Rio Claro. So again, Rio
Mhm.
Claro was normally a good city and a safe city, but
Yeah,
because it was the gangs were fighting. They had new gang started called, I think it was Bonji de Magrelo was the name of the gang, and they were fighting the PCC because you have the main motorways go by the city, so it's a
sure.
drug route, and that's what they were fighting over. So the gang members were killing each other, and so the murder rate went really high.
Yeah. Oh, great. The power just went back. I'm going back to the computer. Just a minute.
Okay, okay, all right ahead.
And
There we
back.
go. Yeah, it's funny actually. The camera's better. The camera quality is better on your
Sure.
phone then.
Yeah, my,
Yeah.
my cell phone is not too good. It's not an iPhone. It's just a Motorola.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't really pay attention which ones are good or bad. How's my picture, by the way? I never really asked my
It's
students.
very nice. The camera is very nice.
Okay, it works well.
Just sometimes the internet connection that I think it's because of mine internet connection. You state like a very pixeled,
Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. I
but I
didn't know
think
what was
it's
happening.
it's, it's my internet. Okay,
Okay,
no,
okay.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
yours.
I never know what it is, or is it Cambly? Because I get so many students. Sometimes it's perfectly clear. Another person's like, "Oh, yours is boxy," or theirs is boxy. So I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on. I think it could be what Cambly are using is making the internet weak. You know?
yeah, that's true. At the beginning, when I started some classes, I started having the classes with different tutors, and the ones that lived here in Brazil, even if you were in other states, the internet connection were much better, than if I
Sure.
had a class with a teacher from the other country,
I
So,
noticed that too. Yeah, in Brazil, it's generally perfect because I realized we're in the same country.
sure.
I used the worst ones were China, but I realized why. Not because the Chinese internet is bad. It's because I used to get a lot of college students, and they were using the Wi-Fi from the dorm room, and
Oh,
everyone's using the
yes.
Wi-Fi, so it's really slow. And I couldn't figure out why it was so bad until someone told me they're sharing the Wi-Fi. So, okay, that makes nowadays it's rare. I used to only get bad connections sometimes from Istanbul, and I don't know why that was either. Everywhere else in Turkey was really good except Istanbul. So it must be something wrong with their cables or internet. But I haven't had this problem in so long where it went off or it would freeze. It's
Yeah,
very rare.
it can also be overloaded, the network, Like you said, the children that were using all the same Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
so just overwhelmed the connection.
Yeah, so it goes slow for that reason. I saw as well in, well, I don't know if I said it to you already, but I think they got Starlink in the Amazon region. And
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
when they were using Starlink in some little village, it was like someplace in Amazonas state next to Colombia or Peru. All the Indian guys had it, all the indigenous guys, and they were all looking at pornography.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That one guy started seeing like porn videos and just stopped hunting.
That's crazy. He's like,
Wow,
oh,
yeah.
it
So
must have caused a big surprise in the village. It's like, look, we have to get rid of this. Yeah, it shows how
yeah.
bad we are. Yeah, but I also what other things are looking. What happens if people like they go crazy and they watch murder videos and they're like, look at this murder video. Oh, it's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
because they
My
said that was
my
on
father
YouTube.
always shows videos like this to me, every time he enters on X, the Twitter, and
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
some videos because there's no how can you say like
censor.
there's no restriction to the videos,
Okay, I
so
didn't know that. I don't use X.
so there are like pages of just showing the accident videos of cars, motorcycles, and on traffic. And my father goes, "Oh, look like this! This guy's torn in half."
Oh, yeah, I don't think I want to watch those videos. It's funny, they're so shocking. Actually, I did something before. I used to work part-time with, those survey companies, and they paid
Yeah.
me money. They're like, yeah, I'll give you $2 for this, 50 cents for this. But one of them I worked for, yeah, it was like that. Which one part, you showed me horrific pictures of like people with diseases are dead. And I was like, holy
Wow.
God, like they paid me like $8 to do it or something, and I did it.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this is shocking.
Wow.
I was like, I don't want to look at this again. But I felt disturbed afterwards. Well, I'd
Yeah.
hate to have that job. So in America, there's people who work as those jobs. They work. What are they called? Administrator of. They have to filter out all the restrictions, but they say all the graphic images. So they'll say graphic
Oh,
images
okay.
of people being murdered.
I won't remember the name, but
I,
I think I know what it is.
Censors. They're censors. That's the word. Censors. We call
Okay.
them. And
Okay.
so, but they will see other things like they'll see pornography, not pornography, but like children being abused, all those things. Yeah. So I can imagine working
Wow,
in one
that's
of those
heavy.
jobs. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I think I would just be disturbed. I think because again, if you're looking at that all day, then you go to sleep, it's going to be in your mind all the time. You know?
Yeah, and you get used to, and so it would basically almost turn like normal to you, and it's not a
Well,
normal thing that someone will actually watch it all day long.
it's like that guy I told you from Victoria the Conquista. He's like, oh, it's only 20 murders per 100,000 now. And I was like, oh, you do realize that's still
Yeah,
shocking. It's
still a lot.
one or two is normal in first world countries. In our countries in
Yeah,
Europe, it's
and
like one or
actually
two.
Brazil, it's one of the, I think it's the one of the country with
High.
the highest rate of
It's not the
murders.
highest, yeah, but it's one of the highest. Yeah, I think it's like number
I don't
10.
think if it is the highest. I
It's
really
10.
don't remember.
It's like 10th or something. Yeah, I don't know what's worse, Venezuela and Mexico. But I know some of the most top three of the top or four of the top most dangerous cities are in Brazil. I think
Yeah.
most of them are Mexico, and then like one's Venezuela. But it's always in the north of Brazil. Like I don't know, I can't remember. Natal is up there. Natal is a horrendous place to live.
Yeah,
João Pessoa.
yeah, and how do you call Nordeste in the northeast?
Northeast, yeah. You say north.
Northeast, right? The northeast part of the country is like very, very criminal
They're
because
very violent. Yeah,
very,
shocking.
very violent because many factions, many gangs control most of the parts. So there was like even a meme that people when taking a photo on a vacation and something like that, they could not do some signs
Yes, yeah,
like that because it was
yeah,
gang signs.
crazy, yeah.
And it
And
was
they
very
just
dumb because, for example, in USA, I know there are some gang signs, but
yeah, I
they're
don't know.
much more complex. Like
Oh,
you
this is
have to.
West Side. This means West Side, I
Yeah,
think.
but
West
I
Side.
don't think it's really a gang sign that if you do
I
it,
don't know.
you will be arrested or even killed. So there are much more complex, like handshakes, that people do
Oh yeah, secret
jobs
ones.
that
Sure.
that are much more complex. So here in Brazil, it's just like this. I'm
Yeah,
a
peace.
criminal.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so I've seen that twice or a few times. Yeah, where like
Craziness.
two girls were kidnapped and killed. I mean, how did they not know? You could like look at their Facebook or something else and see they're normal people, but
Sure.
they just killed these normal, educated girls just because they made like one made a sign like that or something like that.
Yeah,
And then it was a teenage boy as well, some guy who was in Fortaleza or somewhere by the
yeah,
dunes,
that's
and he made
crazy.
like another peace symbol. And they like you see the gang. There's like around 15 of them grab him and they torture and kill him like a 16-year-old. It's so
Yeah,
insane. It's like
I really don't know why this happens because it really doesn't make sense, you know.
yeah, they're just. I think these people
It's
are
very complicated.
more crazy. Yeah. So I remember my wife saying to me once, "Oh, why don't we move? We could go to Sao Pessoa." She goes, "Look, everything's so cheap up there. Everything's like half the price of Sao Paulo, and you get a bigger apartment." And I was like, "Yeah, but that place has a murder rate of like 20 people. I don't want to live in any place that has a murder rate above two. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Yeah, and Indaiatuba is a very nice place, you
I
know.
think it's the
I
same here.
went there actually last weekend to see my cousins and her husband that they were almost like 7 years in USA. They were
Oh
living in
wow.
USA. So they came here to Brazil to meet their family, you know.
Mm.
And it was very nice, very nice and funny because her husband is from Fort Lauderdale in Florida,
Oh, he's an
and
American. Okay.
nobody besides me and his wife actually
Speak
could
English. Yeah.
actually talk in English. So everyone was like just trying to comprehend what we were saying, you know. So
Yeah, that's
it's like
terrible.
a translator.
Yeah, it's the same here. My wife speaks English, but her family don't speak English. It's surprising. None of them actually speak English. Like they went to private schools, but then my wife actually learned it. My niece
Yeah,
has no
actually,
intention of learning.
actually,
Weird.
my father, when we were talking to, just lagged.
Yeah, you're frozen, but your voice is okay.
Oh, it just lagged.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now it's back. So it was very funny because when we were talking, like my family, my father, my mother, my brothers, and I with the guy, he's called Taylor. My father was comprehending like everything he was saying, but he
Mm.
just could not express it himself.
Yeah, you can't
He
speak. Yeah,
couldn't.
it's a different
He
skill.
didn't have like zero vocabulary, even the basic, but he could comprehend perfectly.
Okay, yeah.
So when I was going to translate something that he said to my father, my mother, they already knew what he said.
Okay,
He
wow, yeah.
just wanted to say something that they did not could express themselves to him, you know. So it's very nice because very funny as well because my father was telling like jokes and you know just bullshit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, mocking
And
everything. Tirando
yeah,
Saco. I
in
don't know if the
Portuguese,
American. I don't know if the
fascinating.
Americans would get it sometimes. I don't know if Americans get other people's jokes. You know, I think the way I told you, the way Irish people joke and Brazilians joke, and even Turkish and Italians are very
Yeah,
similar. I don't know if the American jokes go the same way as ours work. You know, I don't know
yeah.
why. Like we can insult
I
people and
really
it's
don't
kind of
know.
okay.
I really don't know, but he was very okay with that, so I think he was used to.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. I know Fort Lauderdale because my sister lived in the next town. My sister lived
Wow,
in Boca Raton, so I visited Boca Raton and
what's it
Fort
called?
Lauderdale. Boca Raton. Actually,
Boca
I thought,
Raton.
yeah, this way. Rat's mouth.
Boca Raton.
Boca
Boca.
the Hato. That's what it is. Yeah, but
Boca Raton.
it's actually a really wealthy area. I didn't know. It's funny. Only after my sister lived there, I hear it on films. You know, Marley and Me. There'd be all these films saying we're going to
Yeah,
Boca. They'll say it like that. We're going to Boca. They'll say, and I know they're talking about Boca Raton in Florida. So it was kind of like rich people would go down there and buy houses, and rich Jewish people, but and Italians. So there's Italians and Jewish really there.
yeah,
My brother-in-law is an American, so he's an Italian. But his family all lived in that region. His uncles and aunts. So that's why they lived there. It's clean. It's nice, safe, clean, and organized. But it's no.
well, it do looks like a very nice city, you
But
know.
there's no town center. You see, you say it's a nice city, but there's no town. So I don't like these American towns because their town center is the shopping mall, and I hate
Yeah,
shopping malls. It's just so ugly. I don't know.
really.
Yeah, I hate shopping, but I don't know why. I mean, I know they're convenient, but there's no character. There's nothing old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true
It's just
about it.
you just see a block and cars, and I just don't like. And I don't even want to go into the shopping mall. It's just ugly for me.
Yeah,
Well, it's
and
not
if
ugly. It's
you get, for example, here in Brazil, the shopping malls are one of the biggest touristic attractions for the people who are going out on the
Yeah.
the weekend, because there are
Yes,
no
I know.
there's
Terrible.
there are also other places, restaurants, theaters, everything, but it's more expensive. It's more accessible for the masses.
The masses, the povão, the
The Bovon,
Corintianos.
yeah, the
Yeah, they,
Bovon.
they all they all dress up. This I remember people saying that as well. Like some guy like or Pedrero came in. He goes, "Yeah, people dress up like they're going to church when they go to the shopping mall. It's all about showing off what you have and just walking back and forth." I hate it. I was like, God, I don't want to be
Yeah,
there. It's just,
yeah, it's hard because I just go to the shopping malls to when I have to. I like to go to them because, oh, for example, if I want to see a shoe that I want to buy on the internet and I want to try it out, or something like that. But my girlfriend loves it going to shopping
I
malls. She
know.
loves going to clothing shops and
Ah, tell her
see
to
it.
go by herself.
Yeah, it's hard. And then she wants to go on all stores, and see all the clothes that. So, for example, oh, I like this clothes, but let's go see the other ones. If I don't like anything besides that, Let's come back for that.
The first shop and then you go
Yeah,
back
the food
again. Oh,
shop.
I hate shopping.
Wow.
My God. My wife she goes, my wife can never find anything. So she goes to all the shops and just complains. And I remember going with my sister as well, hours with my sister looking at everything. I was like, what is wrong with your brain? Why can't you be practical? Why can't you go into
Yeah,
electronics? I'll get this. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's hard, but we have to be patient.
Now I told you I bought my runners or sneakers, tennis, like in like one
Runners.
day. I'll pick
Runners
them.
is a much better name, because you're gonna run with
Yeah, you're going to run with them or walkers because we can walk with them. Yeah,
walkers.
but
Yeah,
runners.
exactly.
But I bought them online in one day, and my wife takes 2 weeks. But I couldn't buy my runners because she was waiting to pick hers. And she's like, "No, I
Yeah,
haven't found one yet." And she's like looking all day, and she's like, "Oh, they don't have the colors that I want. They don't want to have my size." She goes, "I like the men's shoes better than the women's shoes." I was like, "Oh God, go just pick something. Pick something. God damn it."
yeah,
Yeah, it's annoying.
yeah. So, what you're planning to do tomorrow on Easter Day?
Nothing, because I actually have my work schedule up. My wife isn't at home either. So my wife is in Sao Paulo because my
Okay.
father-in-law had surgery. He's fine though. He did heart surgery. He has to do lots of surgery. He has 2 aneurysms and a heart condition.
Wow.
And he doesn't do anything the doctors say. He doesn't stop smoking. He doesn't eat healthy food. He never
Yeah,
exercises. And he just says, no, 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 no. That's like his favorite word. So my wife is stuck in there for like the week with him and my mother-in-law. So I'm by myself. I actually forget it was a holiday. And why I forget it's a holiday, Nicholas, is because, I work online. My students might be from China and from Saudi
no, actually,
Arabia.
that's nice because my dream is to work fully remote. Because getting to go on office on normal weekdays and get a lot of traffic, it's tiring.
Yeah, of
It's very
course. You
tiring.
waste your time. Yeah, so I do that. So I can always be busy. Actually, I'm a little less busy this Saturday and Sunday. Well, actually, it's funny. When I woke up this morning, I had you as my only student, believe it or not. But,
Wow.
but, but not then afterwards. After that, I had 4 students booked me in a row. So
Okay.
when I woke up this morning, I had you, and then I had 4 students just booked one after each other. So I gave classes without stopping today. I don't know about after class. Someone might book me again. And tomorrow I was free too all day, but now I think 3 people booked me for tomorrow. But usually I'm booked up on Saturday and Sunday. But I do get a lot of Brazilian students. So I think because
Yeah.
it's Easter, people are not booking, right? Because they're on their holidays because it's
Yeah.
Easter
Sure.
time. And some other people celebrate Easter too. Like some people in South Korea have Easter and Taiwan even have
Wow.
Easter
Did
because it's
not know
Christian
that.
because it's Christians in those countries. So for that
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah.
less students from Brazil, less students from Korea, and that means all the other tutors in Cambly are sharing the other students, so there might be less, going around.
Yeah. So it's a little more difficult to get those students.
Yeah, but I'm so busy, so it doesn't matter. Like
Wow.
yesterday too was weird.
Wow.
Yesterday I only had four people book me, and then the other day I was booked the whole day. I had some
Wow.
guy from Saudi Arabia called me three times, and it was really weird. He called me 8 o'clock in the morning. Then he called me at around 11 o'clock for 15 minutes because I had one gap between my class, and I was like, "I'll get a coffee," and this guy called me instead. And then at the end of the day, around 3 o'clock, he booked me for 45 minutes.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that was crazy. Yeah, I was like,
it's even hard to get to talk more about more things. I even book my our classes You see, it's every Saturday on the same time because we have a week gap to talk, to discuss about more things, and also to leave it booked, so I don't miss any if someone gets this
Oh,
time.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually don't open my Saturdays, believe it or not, or Sundays only until I only open them on Wednesday. I generally don't open them just in case, because I told you on the weekend my wife might want to do something, so that's why I don't open my schedule usually. So I only open it at the last minute. Well, yeah, I have stuff, but I also have my own material, so I can't. I didn't even. I don't think anyone would. Yeah, I think with the Saudi Arabian guy, I asked him 3 questions on crime, but then we didn't talk about anything. We didn't talk about crime. We were just talking about everything else. He was a
Yeah.
school teacher, and I don't know what we were talking about. I don't even remember. I talk to so much people, I forget what I talk about with my students. So I have today for you, since we already were speaking openly.
Yeah.
I can have my questions that we started last time about aliens, or I can switch to animals, or I can switch to, I don't know what I have else, or architecture. So your choice.
Architecture.
It was aliens, animals, or architecture. So we started the alien questions, but we didn't finish them. We can continue those if you like. Your
Yeah,
choice.
that would be nice. We can
Okay,
finish, then we can go to, I don't know, perhaps animals. Let's go to
animals.
animals after that.
Okay, that's fine. So during the week there was actually news about aliens, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
they said during this week they more than likely discovered a planet that definitely has life on it. So that's really interesting. So I don't know. I only read like a
Well, you
clip
have to
that was
see
like
what
3 minutes.
type of life, if it could be
Exactly.
bacteria, viruses, very basic type of life.
Yeah.
That
But they
could
said
be
it. But
considered life, but also there's a huge gap between being intelligent life and the
yeah,
basic life.
basic life. Sure. But again, this was the closest planet. Like the other planets, they said there's lots of other planets could have life, but they said this one definitely would have because it has the right distance.
It's how much in light years
I have
apart
no.
from Earth.
I didn't. I only watched the clip. I don't know why it was. I don't know when I saw that clip. Maybe it was like 3 days ago, and I watched it on
Hmm.
YouTube. But it was like 2 minutes, and it was before my class started, and I never read about it afterwards. I meant
Mhm.
to read afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the first alien one. Okay. Why do you think aliens in movies and comic books generally have human shape and eyes?
Well, I think they have a human shape because actually humans cannot think of anything besides that because they never haven't have seen an alien, right? So they have to shape in a way that it's everybody's used to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very very normal to see that aliens that balloon have that balloon head and
Big eyes.
very thing on the chin and the big eyes and very gray.
Yes, the gray aliens. Yes, they're
It
walking among us.
the gray man.
They're in Virginia right now.
Virginia, yeah,
Okay.
Etebilu.
What was it?
Etebilu,
What is
it
that?
was a journalistic coverage from Record. It's
Okay.
one of I won't remember the name, but they they in theory made an interview with an alien from somewhere, and
Oh, right. It said
the,
it did that.
the alien gave an interview to the to the cameraman and the what
Yeah.
is the journalist? Yeah,
A
the
journalist. You can
journalist.
say journalist. Yeah, journalist. Okay.
Yes, and so
I never heard of that one. Okay. I know there was
yes,
another one in the very north of Brazil with lights coming down and people getting burnt. I don't know what that one
yeah,
was called. That was another one. And I remember watching something else in Brazil. I remember thought it was really weird because they said it was the first time of an alien incident. And I think it happened in the interior of Sao Paulo. But what I remembered was the guy who interviewed was an Irish Brazilian. And I was like, how is that possible? Well, when I say he was Irish, I think his name was Jose Higgins. So his surname was Higgins, which is an Irish surname. I remember going, that's
yeah,
so crazy. Why is
yeah.
that? Why would an Irish?
We talk about this.
Oh
We
yeah,
talk
maybe we
about
said we were talking about aliens before. Oh, okay. I'll save this for
it.
after class then, YouTube video.
Yeah. So, do you think
Okay.
aliens are likely to be more or less intelligent than us? Well, I think they could be more intelligent because it's very hard to say why we don't have any contact with
With them.
yeah, with extraterrestrial life besides Earth, because the universe is so big, and the chances that having any type of intelligent life are very high. There's a calculation that some people make, but I won't remember the name. And the reason behind we don't have any contact with that would be that those types of life are much more developed, and they do not try to contact us because we would be in a very primitive way of
Compared
civilization.
to them. Yeah, sure.
So they would not try to make contact with us,
Yeah,
because
well,
we're
it's like
really
us
too
absorb.
primitive.
It's like when we look at Indians or something or indigenous people. We don't want to. They're probably looking at the same way. It's like, don't touch those humans. We might give them
Yeah,
diseases, or maybe we're
yeah,
too
that's right.
dangerous as well. We want to kill each other. Um,
Exactly, spot on.
well, it could be two reasons, though. You could say that again. It just depends on what planet they're on. So maybe there's ones that are like cavemen, and there's one more intelligent than us. And a lot of times, sometimes when people say aliens have come to Earth, they've done stuff to prevent nuclear power. Like there was something like in America where they turned off the nuclear warheads, and they said aliens did it.
Yeah,
So I wonder if they'd only come to interfere if we were going to kill each other. I don't know.
yeah, sure.
Well, here's the next one. Similar to, do you think aliens are likely to be friendly or unfriendly?
Well, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say,
Yeah,
I
and
think if they would try to make contact, it would be in a friendly way, you know.
well, we hope
Uh,
so.
it could be for so actually just just few people to maybe try to get a message of evolution for humanity or something like that. But it's hard to say because we actually have we don't have much evidence of this type of contact. But I think in this context it would be being trying to be more friendly,
Sure, but I always look at the history of humankind, and
Yeah,
our history is not very good because we look at our neighbors and we invade and attack our neighbors in human
yeah,
history.
that's the human behavior.
Yeah, and there's always conflict. It doesn't matter. So if you find a slight difference with religion or politics or race or ethnicity, you just kill each other. I was actually watching a documentary with Afghanistan and Pakistan, and they're all fighting each other for like lots of different reasons. One is ethnic reasons, and the other one is religious reasons, and the other is just political reasons. Yeah, it's crazy. They just find a way to kill. So same thing could happen. Do you think? Yeah, where do you think the idea of aliens from outer space came from?
Well, I really don't know because there are also some other ideas that are would be like
From
similar
another
to
dimension?
aliens inside of Earth, like the reptilians, like Queen Elizabeth or the presidents of the United States would be
The reptilians.
reptilians and be a part of a new world order.
Yes, who knows?
So,
They'll
so it's
live.
strange, but about this idea. I really have no idea.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. It must have come from a book, I'm guessing. I guess maybe when we, because humans think, we must think this, like we used to think about maybe heaven. And then we used to think, oh, when we figured out space, we probably start thinking there was other people and other planets, maybe. Um,
yeah, just something. Um, if we had contact with other types of life that came from other places on the universe, it would be very hard for the religions, because, for example, in the Bible says that the man was made on the image of God, So if you had other types of life, that could be, just some that gets in the way of the religions. So
yeah, it could, unless God is on the other planets too. That's the other thing too. Maybe they
yeah,
look like us. You see, we don't know. Yeah, I think so too. If we did meet aliens, it'd be really bizarre. But the Vatican uh, has an astronomy department, so they look into
wow,
space too. Yeah,
wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. I don't know if it's in the Vatican itself or they just employ people somewhere else. I don't remember. I
Wow,
remember reading about it.
okay then.
What are the aliens like in your cultures, movies, and books? I'm going to say in Ireland, we only get them from America. So I
Yeah,
think in Brazil you're greatly influenced by America too, but you do have those ones in Virginia and that other. I don't
yeah,
remember the
but
other
we
place.
don't have an image, you know. If I try to think of an alien, I will always remember that one from South Park, you know, the very gray man with the
Okay, the Greys, yeah, they
the
call them.
grays, you know. So I will always remember of that. So it's very it got very popular that image. I got, but other images of other types of aliens, I actually don't know a lot. I
Yeah, I
always
don't know. I don't know either. I guess they just look like people. So I guess the
yeah
main image is like the gray one, but I don't know. And some people like the idea that maybe aliens are advanced humans. That we
yeah
have
that
bigger
could be
heads because we have bigger
like in
brains.
the movie Interstellar that the guys that were trying to contact the humanity. I don't. Did you watch the
I
movie?
have, but I saw it so long ago. Do you know that's one of the movies that people pick as their favorite movie? A lot of people
Yeah,
have into stuff, but I
it
just
is
don't.
a very good one.
I don't remember because I seen it so long ago.
So basically, the ones that were trying to that created the wormhole to that guy, the Cooper one, to enter and have more information about the black holes and stuff, were more developed humans in the future. So that could be a theory as well. You know
But
that
did they look different? I don't remember. Or did they
they
just look the same?
actually are not shown in
They're not
the
sure.
movie.
Oh.
They're just described as more advanced humans, you know, in the future. Only that, and they created that wormhole and made the path that Cooper had to follow, you know, to go into the wormhole and then collect the information of the black hole and um, pass on that information to his daughter with the that Morse code, you know,
Yeah,
about
Morse code. Yeah, I
through
remember
the
that part.
through the clock.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that is that.
Okay. Yeah, and I also think that so in the future, if our brains are bigger, we'll have bigger heads. And why
Sure,
why why we have
that
small
makes
mouths?
sense.
Why we have small mouths is because we're psychic. We don't need to speak anymore. And why we have weak bodies is because we don't actually need to do physical work anymore, right? We don't need to work as farmers. So it's like we get smaller bodies.
Yeah, that actually make a lot of sense, you know.
But we don't have the big hump on our back from being on our cellular phones.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
do you think, what do you think of people who say they have met or were kidnapped by aliens?
Well, it's a theory as well. It's very hard to say because there are some people that actually say that they were raptured by the aliens, or how do you say? How does it
Captured or kidnapped
captured?
or abducted. Abducted is the word.
Abducted.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Spot on. So they do that so they get some light on their lives, you know, and people get to hear speeches of them telling how it was that rapture and stuff like that. But I think it's hard because I think there are some ones that are true because there are some people that do not like just to be shown and really wants to, how can I say, to make a statement, you know. But in general, I would say that it's hard to say, you know,
yeah.
uh, to
Well,
tell
I'm
if
gonna.
someone is telling the truth or not.
Well, yeah, most of them I think are making it up because overall it's always Americans who get kidnapped by aliens more than Irish people or Europeans. It's always Americans. So I think maybe some people have more levels of schizophrenia. But I don't know if I said it to you as well that the guy who did my wife's studio, we went and met him in the pub afterwards. He was a really
Yeah, I
psychopath,
remember
and he
that.
was saying he woke up in plasma, and then he said about the Queen of England being a
Yeah, I
reptilian.
remember that.
We're
I
crazy. And
remember.
then he at the same time he asked us, "Do you want to come to
Wow.
this Seha? What's it called? Seha Cadastra? What's the Seha in miniaturize that one there?" And he goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
the aliens pass overhead all the time. We can go see them. You can stay with us." And my wife's like, "I'm not going anywhere with that guy. He's going to chop us up and put us in the
Wow.
woods." But he was genuinely crazy, like real crazy, and he's quite charming. If you met him, you would not think he's a crazy person
Would
because he's.
convince you, that he actually got contact with aliens. He
Yeah, but
was.
he's talkative. He's one of those people who likes to talk. He also has opinions, but he doesn't look like in Brazil. A lot of people look that way, but people in Brazil might look like Pira, a bit rough. This guy doesn't look. He actually looks like a German or Dutch guy. He's Italian, but he looks German or Dutch. He's tall. He's strong. He just looks clean cut. He had a big
Okay.
house somewhere. He owns his own business, and I was like, he doesn't seem like someone
Very
who would be
normal
crazy.
guy.
Yeah, he just doesn't look though. He doesn't look like a crazy person. He looks like an intelligent and successful person, but he's insane. Oh, poor guy. He must have schizophrenia,
Yeah.
I think. That's a symptom of schizophrenia. What are your favorite movies about aliens? There's so many good ones.
Well, the one that I really liked was I won't remember the English name for the movie. That one with Chris Pratt that he has to come back. He goes into the future to try to combat the aliens. Let me see the name. I really want.
The Tomorrow War. Did I see
That's
this one?
right. That's right.
You know what? I don't think I've seen this one. This is strange.
It's very good. So basically, there's humanity in the present moment living normally, and then it opens a portal in the middle of a football stadium, a soccer stadium, and then some people come from the future to talk that the human race is lost in a battle for aliens. And then humanity groups some squads of soldiers and volunteers to send them to the future to combat these aliens, but they are very strong and they cannot just win the battle. So they did some researches and stuff, and they understand that the aliens did not invade the Earth. They actually were already in Earth for millennials. They were just on ice, freezed, like
Freeze
on.
on the ground. That reminds me of the War of the Worlds.
Yeah, on Russia or someplace like that. And then after some time, they just defrost.
Mhm.
Actually, they started to grow a lot, so it was just not possible to fight them because they were already too strong. But the movie is very nice. The action part is very nice as well. I would
Mm.
recommend you to
I
watch.
like. There's lots of alien movies I like. I like the spookier ones a bit more. But again, when I was a kid, I'm gonna pick E.T. Okay, that's the most famous one as a
E.T.
kid. But that's a kids film. But when I was older, I really liked the first Alien movie. The Alien franchise. So if you like, there's so many Alien movies, but it's just called Alien. The very first movie was,
Alien.
yeah, it's just Alien. That was made in 1979. But you'll recognize this alien because they keep using this alien in so many movies. So there was Aliens, and Alien 3. And then later on, they had Prometheus, and there's something else, which is a good one as well. But I really like the first one because the first one is like a horror and it's slow. The second one's more of an action movie, and the third one might be too. I didn't like the fourth
Yeah.
one, but I really enjoyed that first one. And there's other kind of weird ones too that I like when they talked about real aliens when they didn't exist, fire in the sky. So this one was about a guy who got kidnapped by aliens in America, and he said this really happened to him and he disappeared. But I saw that one when I was younger, and it scared the living daylights out of me because they said based on a true story, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, he was really kidnapped by aliens. But that one scared me. But it's just like a drama. It's like a drama about a real guy so it kind of makes it seem more real. So yeah, I
Yeah.
liked all those movies. There's
That,
loads of great alien movies though.
yeah. That one is from the Alien versus Predator, right?
Yeah, but Alien versus Predator is more just action and it's more silly. So I don't like Alien versus Predator, but I like the original Alien movie. Actually, if you watch the first Predator movie, it's really good too. So the first Predator movie was done in the 80s, and that scared me too. That was with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I didn't really like the other Predator movies because they're more over the top fighting, but this one was kind of scarier, I thought. It's just called Predator. And
Yeah.
the first Alien's very different too. Yeah. But they're all good ones. I think I like so many sci-fi movies because you can even say Star Wars is aliens, and that's fun. But that's more like a fun movie instead of a deep one.
Yeah.
Do you think aliens would prefer to communicate with us or other species? Yeah, not
No,
Brazilians. Don't go to Brazil.
Not Brazil, please.
Yeah, they'll
They
go
will have
crazy.
a burnout, of information.
They'll join the PCC or something. No, we
Yeah.
need to sell our drugs. This is what we'll do. Take over the world.
No, no, it's not possible.
Not possible. Okay. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't talk. I don't know who they talk to. Elephants, dolphins. Yeah, they're not so intelligent, but intelligent for. Let me see. Is that the last question on aliens? No, we got lots of questions on aliens. I forgot. That was only the first half. See, these questions are fun because we can talk about them. Some questions
Yeah.
are more. Some questions are more boring. It's like when I'm talking about the environment, they're like, okay.
Oh, what do you think about climate change?
Yeah, I have those ones, but there's too many, and they're kind of the similar questions. And I was like, oh,
No,
they
I don't
bore
like
me.
that.
But I still have them because I have to use all the questions. So
It's more boring.
it can be more boring. Okay, what would you say to an alien if you met one?
Seek knowledge is the thing that Etebilu says to humanity. If you see the video after,
Okay, I'll look it up.
the journalist asked Etebilu, so Etebilu, what's your message for humanity? What do you have to say for all of us? Seek for knowledge.
Like this, a little robot
It's
voice.
just that.
Oh no, that's so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so plain though. I really don't like those answers. I like, if someone meets a real alien, I want
Very
the direct.
cliche.
Yeah, I want the real information. Don't say seek knowledge because that's just so bland and vague. They have to give something specific. Like, if you want to make rockets to go to another planet, this is the material you need. Like giving us the material, or someone like this is the cure for cancer. You know what I mean? I'll kind of trust them when they give.
Yeah, cure for cancer would be complicated because if you leak that, you would be probably in an accident with 30 shots in your back.
Well, that's what happens in Brazil, like Laia Ribeiro. People want to kill Laia Ribeiro. But in America, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. I was writing, since I had cancer before, there's so many things that people say can heal cancer. And they say, when they say it's genetic, it's bullshit.
Yeah, there are also a lot of how do you say? A lot of medicaments. No, it's not the right one. Yeah, there. People say that that one ivermectin. I don't know.
Ivermectin, yeah.
Ivermectin.
Because it's anti-parasitic. So they said, and a lot of people say that cancer can be like a fungus. So if you take anti-parasitics or dog dewormer or deworming medicine, it boosts your immune system and can help you for a lot of cancers. That's true as well. So it shows that it's good for cancer. Another people say high dose vitamin C and aspirin. So I was listening to a podcast.
Fentanyl. Fasting.
What word?
Fasting.
Oh, fasting. Yeah, fasting too. Because again, it shows that cancer might be related to sugar and food because
that's right.
Cancer needs to eat. So if
so your body just breaks the cancer cells, right?
Yeah, it starves them. So that's how it works. Nice. So if you try do fasting once a month or 2 months, so it shows that all these things like infrared saunas can kill things, fasting. But the guy I was writing down yesterday, he said 3 types of vitamin B. I wrote it down in my book.
Wow.
Can kill cancer. You just have to mix them together. Vitamin B1, vitamin B3, and vitamin B7. And he goes, all those things can kill cancer tumors. And he said also if you take vitamin C with aspirin for 10 days, you'll see it'll have an effect on tumors.
Wow.
Really, it's really interesting information. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this because since I had cancer and it can come back, I want to try it for a couple of days. Yeah.
Sure, of course. Wow.
So what would you say? What would you really say to an alien if you met one?
I would try to record the UFO, but I would probably not be able because my cell phone is very poor.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would try to record it, but well, it's difficult because all of those videos that you saw about UFOs, the camera quality is very poor, So
yeah, that's what I don't like about the UFOs. I mean, why are we seeing a blob in the sky in the distance instead of a clear image when we all have brilliant cameras? It makes no sense. And I always say, aliens never land in our back garden. Why aren't they in their back garden? Why are they always somewhere miles away where you can't see them? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think aliens have lots of viruses that could wipe out the human race?
I think on the contrary,
Why? Okay, that's weird. I would have think yes, they should have.
Yeah, because probably, like I said, aliens would be more intelligent. So if they are more developed, they would have all the cures or even be immune to those types of diseases, viruses, anything. So, but there could be something here in on Earth, on humanity, they're not immune, you know. So they actually could, how do you say?
We're not
Get
immune.
something from us, you know.
Contract. Yeah, they can
Yeah,
contract.
contract. That's right.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, I think it's, but if you look at our history too, just think about the indigenous people of Brazil. What killed off most of the indigenous people are Indians or whatever. They died because their immune systems were so weak.
Yeah.
So there's a book I read it too, The Andromeda Strain. This guy has really good books actually. Oh, he was the guy who wrote I think his name is Michael Crichton or Michael Crichton. He wrote, or does it? He wrote Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And he has a lot of really good books. So this guy was actually a scientist, and then he wrote the books.
Wow.
That's why his books are so good. That's why Jurassic Park is good. But I read around 5 or 6 of his books. They were fun, actually. I enjoyed his books.
Okay.
But he had one called the Andromeda Strain, and I think it was about an alien spacecraft that had a virus and it could kill people, as far as I remember. And it was a film as well. It's a really old film. Yeah, and I watched the film too. I think it was good, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Secret Service discovered an alien, do you think they would tell the general public?
Not in the. Actually, I think they would wait some time to study the possibility of saying that to the general public, but not in the same time, you know, because I think it would be cause panic, you know, hysteria.
Well, that's why people think now they're hiding alien technology.
Yeah, they probably are.
We don't know. I don't know. I can't tell.
We can't know.
There's so much stuff on. It's so weird. The last like couple of months, there's been so much stuff talking about aliens. I'm getting confused.
Aliens and
It's all over the top.
UFOs
But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's all lying, because in America people lie a lot. Like there was 2 guys who came out recently talking about alien technology in America. I can't
Yeah.
remember his name. It's like Elise Nzonzo or something. But he's 100% fake. Everyone keeps on saying this guy's so fake, and he seems fake. But he's from the government. You know, they believe like the government put him there to talk about aliens because they
Yeah.
want to mislead the public. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
never know.
Be afraid of humans. They actually be afraid of us because, like we said, we could be much more primitive, you know.
Yeah,
So
more violent.
you would be scared of a primitive animal because, you know, it's violent, it's unpredictable. You don't know what
Exactly.
the
Like
what
Brazilians,
is.
that's the whole point. Yeah, that's why I say Brazil. I'm kind of afraid to go into the jungle in Brazil because they could be more violent.
Exactly. So
Like
every Brazilian's a primitive animal.
I used to walk in the forest in Ireland without any fear of anything. I just didn't think I was just never afraid. It's fine. But when I come to Brazil, I go, I'm afraid to go into the jungle. And it's like, I'm not afraid of the wild animals. I'm afraid of meeting people. Because I said to my wife one day, let's go to Guarujá and use the trails by the beach.
Yeah.
And at the same time I said it, there was people being killed there by the gang. Some guy was killed and they were kidnapping people. And a couple of months later, I said, let's go. Yeah, I was like, let's go there. And it's like, we can go to the beach at least. But then they were attacking people on the beach in Guarujá, and some guy got shot in the jungle as well. Some guy was doing a trail and he got shot by a bandit. So I was like, I don't want to go there. And that's considered a wealthy beach. And I was like, okay, that's so insane. So yeah, I think people are unpredictable and scary. So I would be surprised. And I said it as well to some of my students. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of funny. I'm afraid of Brazilians, but if I saw a Japanese Brazilian, I wouldn't be afraid. Yeah, I suppose that's a weird racial stereotype.
Yeah, and that's true actually, because for example, when I go to the very center of São Paulo here, like in the Luz or some places like that, there are like a lot of hobos, you know, a lot of people that are also there are a lot of people that are on drugs, and sometimes they come at you like asking for money or something like that, and it's kind of scary because sometimes you actually do not know what they're going to do. So for example, sometime a long time ago, I was going to college at night, and the guy just came at me and screamed like "Alemão!" That is the word for German, you know.
Oh yeah, I got that too. People screamed that at me as well.
And he screamed at my face and just left.
Yeah, crazy.
In the middle of the night, you know. when I'm going to college. So
Well, yeah, you don't know who's crazy.
okay then.
Um, if aliens visited Earth for a week, what do you think they should see to fully understand us and our achievements?
Yeah, they could see our achievements, but they would think that we are very
Primitive compared to them.
corrupted, you know.
Corrupt, yeah, probably. I would send him to the museum. That's really the best thing. Like, I think it's the British History Museum because the British stole everything. They probably have the best artifacts in the world. So maybe go to the museums. Yeah, and then they'd be
Yeah,
shocked. Because, you know, our museums, what our museums show is just war, 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 and corruption. That's it.
yeah,
It's
a
funny.
lot of stolen gold, you know.
Stolen goods. How likely is it we'll ever be able to visit a planet that has aliens?
Well, I think that's very difficult. At least the time that we are alive, and you know. Well, there are a lot of plans like to colonize Mars, even make some base camps on the moon. But
But yeah, they have to go to the moon again. It's weird when they talk about Mars when we can't even go to the. I know. Again, I say to my students, we're going to the moon again. We're going to the moon in September. We were supposed to go last year a couple of times, but we
yeah,
have to go to the moon again to prove we can go to the moon. And then you have to build on the moon before you can build on Mars because it's so far away.
sure, because Mars is much more far away, you know. And I think for the time that we are alive, that's possible to colonize and make base camps and stuff like that. But for example, other planets like Venus, even the other planets of the solar system, are I think it's
Well,
for
they're
the time
impossible.
we're alive, it's not possible.
Well, they're too hot and they're too cold, so that's kind of the problem too. We'd have to
Yeah, for
regulate
example,
temperature.
Jupiter has its conditions like it's just gases, you know.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
actually don't know the it's
The
not
chemical
physiology.
balance. Chemical
Yeah,
balance.
it's not the physiology of the planet. It's something like that. But what is made of? I think it's mainly gases. So it's very hard to explore a planet like that. You know,
Sure.
for
Of course.
example, Mars would be much more easy. You can send drones and
Yeah,
those
something
robots.
satellites. Yeah. Well, well, I don't think we have the technology, of course, now. So there'll have to
Yeah,
be
we
a
don't.
dramatic change in the technology. And it seemed again this week. Who was it? I get confused with my students who I was talking to. So this week is what I was talking to a kid from Taiwan, and I remember saying to him that there was something out this week, not about discovering the alien planet, but about that we had the technology in the past. Like in the 70s, we decided to not advance our technology or not put it in practice. So we
Sure.
believe we actually have more advanced technology nowadays, and some people say we might even be able to teleport. So I was listening to a physicist
Wow.
talking the other day. I found a guy who was giving a
That's-
clip. I don't understand this stuff, but he was just talking about this stuff, how it's possible, like minus zero gravity or something, and you get different atoms and they come together and they make something disappear. I don't know, in magnetism.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, but he said it
It
probably
has
exists
something to do
already.
with quantum tunneling.
Well, that's the word. It's quantum. People like that word. Quantum tunneling, quantum physics, quantum entanglement. Yeah,
Like this, I think it's like
yeah,
this.
kind of all those words. And those things are more complicated to understand. So he believes we have this technology already. So if this exists, you could possibly make a wormhole again with this
Yeah,
technology and beam
to go
somewhere
to
else.
other galaxies, you know.
So what this guy's theory was, this wasn't his theory. He was talking about do you know the Malaysian flight that disappeared? I think it was 2014. There
How's
was
it called?
Malaysia's the country.
Malaysian. Oh yeah, right. The flight.
Yeah, they call it by the
Malaysian
name
one.
like M1H3 or something was the flight. But
Yeah.
it disappeared. But they said they have evidence of it in the sky and satellite, and it just boom disappears. And the guy was like, there was 3 orbs around it, and then it makes it disappear and goes somewhere else. So someone believed this was human technology. So
Yeah,
I
they,
don't know
they
what
say
this is.
like this. It's almost a portal to another dimension. You
Well,
know,
that's what they said. Where did it
it's
go?
hard to prove it. You know,
We can't prove that.
you
But
can
they said
believe it, but it's hard to prove.
yeah,
Just that.
exactly. So that's one reason maybe we do have certain technology. But also, if aliens ever visited us, like they could visit us tomorrow if they do exist, and they could give us all their technology, and then we'll be able to do it, which would be interesting.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
next question.
Do you think it's worthwhile for your government to spend money on alien research or sending signals to space?
Actually, not. I don't know if you ever heard about the WOW signal. It is a very old signal that
Is this
some
one
guy.
from Arizona? They have this
I
SETI,
think
it's called.
I think it is. I think it
Search
is.
search for extraterrestrial intelligence, I think it's called. Yeah, it's probably this place then. Let me look it up. for you.
So some guy was receiving some radio signs of from this outer space, and received like a wow.
Oh, it's Ohio. Okay, this was even before. Oh, actually, they seem to be showing the one in Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. There's a big satellite dish in Puerto Rico that they used as well.
Yeah, so I think it's not worth it. I think it's worth it investing in technology, not just sending signals.
Of course, but I guess we have to improve that. We start with a signal and then maybe improve the signal to make it more powerful. So yeah, I think it's okay to do that, but I don't think there's alien research maybe on the signals because we don't have that evidence yet. That's your hiding.
Okay.
Nicholas.
Thank you, Cormac. See
Sure,
you
no
next
problem.